They say everyone is replaceable. In the corporate world, they drill that into your head. Don't get too comfortable, they say. There's always someone younger and cheaper waiting to take your seat. Usually that's true. But every once in a while, you find a guy who is actually the load-bearing pillar of the entire building. The guy who knows where the bodies are buried. The guy who knows the one password that keeps the lights on. I was that guy? And my new boss? Well, let's just say he decided to knock out that pillar to save a few bucks on the renovation budget. He didn't just fire me. He insulted me. He escorted me out of the building like a criminal. But he forgot one tiny detail. He forgot to ask for the encryption keys to the server. This is the story of how I turned a generic firing into a consulting gig that paid off my student loans in a single week. Before we watch the corporate world burn, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love stories about incompetent bosses getting a reality check, you are in the right place. Welcome to ThreadVerse. To understand this mess, you have to understand my job. I worked for a mid-sized logistics company. Basically, we made sure trucks got from point A to point B. I was the senior systems administrator. But really, I was the wizard. I built a custom automation script about 5 years ago. Let's call it the black box. This script automatically routed deliveries, calculated fuel costs, and generated invoices. It did the work of about 10 people. It ran perfectly. It ran silently. As long as I was there to tweak it and update the security keys every month, the company made millions. My job looked easy because I made it look easy. I spent most of my day drinking coffee and reading Reddit because I had already automated everything. And that was the problem. About 3 months ago, our old manager retired. The company brought in an outside hire to replace him. Let's call him Brad. Brad was a classic MBA type. You know the guy. Slick back hair, expensive suit, uses words like synergy and circle back in every sentence. He clearly had no idea how technology worked, but he knew how to look at a spreadsheet and scream about costs. From day one, Brad hated me. He'd walk past my desk and see me relaxing. "Everything good here?" he'd ask, eyeing my empty screen. "Running like clockwork, Brad," I'd say. He'd just grunt. To him, I was a waste of money. I was drawing a 6-figure salary to sit around. He didn't understand that he wasn't paying me to type. He was paying me to know what to type when things broke. Last Friday, at 4:30 p.m., classic firing time, Brad called me into his office. HR was already there. A bad sign. "Have a seat," Brad said, not looking up from his phone. I sat down. "What's up?" "We're restructuring," Brad said, finally looking at me with a smug little grin. "We've audited the department, and we realized that your position is redundant." I laughed. I literally laughed out loud. "Redundant?" "Brad, I maintain the black box. If that script stops, the trucks stop." Brad rolled his eyes. "Please. It's 2025. Everything is in the cloud. We've hired a team in another country to manage the servers for a fraction of your cost. They start Monday." I looked at the HR lady. She looked at the floor. "Brad," I said, my voice getting serious. "Does this new team know about the monthly encryption rotation? Because if they don't update the keys by the first of the month, the system locks down. It's a security feature I built." "We have it under control," Brad interrupted. "We don't need your lectures. We just need your badge and your laptop." I sat there for a second. I could have fought. I could have explained the technical disaster he was walking into. I could have drawn him a diagram. But then I remembered how he treated me for the last 3 months. I remembered the micromanaging. I remembered the disrespect. So I stood up. "Okay," I said. "If you say it's under control, I believe you." I handed over my badge. I placed my laptop on his desk. "You need to leave the building immediately," Brad said. "Security will escort you out." "Fine by me," I said. "Good luck, Brad. You're gonna need it." The weekend was peaceful. I slept in. I played video games. I updated my resume. Monday morning came around. I woke up at 10 a.m., made some pancakes, and checked my phone. I had 47 missed calls, 12 voicemails, and about 100 text messages. Half of them were from my old coworkers. The other half were from Brad. I listened to the first voicemail from Brad. It was timestamped 8:15 a.m. "Hey, we're having a little issue logging into the routing system. Give me a call back when you get this." The next voicemail was from 9 a.m. His voice was a little higher. "Pick up the phone. The trucks can't leave the depot. The drivers are waiting for their routes. We need the password." The last voicemail was from 9:45 a.m. He was screaming, "This is unprofessional. If you don't call me back, I'm calling our lawyers. Fix this now." I smiled, took a sip of my coffee, and put the phone back down. The black box had locked them out. The encryption keys had expired. And without me, that system was nothing but a useless pile of digital junk. The company was losing roughly $10,000 every hour the trucks sat still. I decided to let them sweat for a few more hours. After all, I didn't work there anymore. I was redundant, remember? But when I finally did answer the phone, oh boy, the price just went up. I finished my coffee. I watched a little TV. Finally, around 11:30 a.m., I decided to pick up the phone. Hello. I answered casually. Where have you been? Brad screamed. I could hear chaos in the background. Phones ringing, people shouting. We have been trying to reach you for hours. The system is down. Everything is down. Who is this? I asked, feigning ignorance. It's Brad. Don't play games with me. Get down here right now and fix this. The new team can't figure out your code. Whoa, slow down, Brad, I said. You fired me on Friday. Remember? Redundant. My badge is on your desk. I can't just walk into the building. Security won't let me in. There was a pause. A heavy, painful silence. I will authorize security, Brad hissed. Just get here. I don't think so, I said. I'm not an employee anymore. I'm a private citizen. If you want my help, you're looking to hire me as an external consultant. Fine, he yelled. Consider yourself rehired. Just come fix it. No, I corrected him. I don't want to be rehired. I didn't like the company culture. But I am available for freelance consulting work. My rate is a little higher than my old salary, though. How much? He asked. For emergency, same-day service? My rate is $500 an hour, with a minimum billable block of 20 hours. Paid in advance. Certified check or wire transfer only. I heard him choke. That's $10,000. For what? Pressing a few buttons. You're not paying me to press buttons, Brad, I said, quoting an old mechanic joke. You're paying me to know which buttons to press. Do you want the trucks to move or not? He tried to argue. He threatened to sue me again. But then I heard someone in the background, probably the CEO, yell, just pay him, Brad. We're losing 50 grand an hour. Fine, Brad groaned. Get here. I'll have the check. I took a shower. I got dressed, but I didn't put on my usual khakis and button-down shirt. Oh no, I put on shorts, a Hawaiian shirt, and flip-flops. I drove to the office and walked into the lobby. The security guard, old Mike, gave me a confused look. Aren't you fired? Mike asked. Today, Mike, I grinned. I'm a consultant. I walked up to the IT department. It smelled like sweat and fear. The new team Brad had hired, 3 guys on a Zoom call from overseas, looked terrified. They had been trying to hack into my system for hours and had gotten nowhere. Brad was standing there, holding a check. He looked like he had aged 10 years in one weekend. Here, he practically threw the check at me. Fix it. I looked at the check. $10,000. I took a picture of it and deposited it via my banking app right there in front of him. All right, I said. Let's see what the problem is. Everyone gathered around my old desk. Brad, the HR lady, the CEO came down. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. I sat down in my old chair. It still squeaked. I opened the terminal. I typed in my username. Then, I typed in the encryption renewal command. It was 1 line of code, maybe 20 characters. I hit enter. A green progress bar appeared. Decrypting. 10%. 50%. 100%. System online. Suddenly, the red lights on the server rack turned green. The phone started ringing again, this time with drivers saying, "Okay, routes just popped up. We're moving." Total time elapsed, for minutes and 32 seconds. I stood up and dusted off my hands. There you go, all fixed. And I set it to auto-renew for the next 30 days. You might want to have your new team learn how to do that by next month. The silence in the room was deafening. Brad's face was purple. That's it, he whispered. I just paid you 10 grand for 5 minutes of work. I looked him dead in the eye. You paid me 10 grand because you were too arrogant to listen to me on Friday. It's called a stupid tax, Brad. And you just paid the premium rate. I turned to the CEO. Nice seeing you, sir. Good luck with the restructuring. And then I walked out. My flip-flops clapping against the floor echoed like applause. So what happened next? Well, the company lost about $150,000 that morning in delayed shipments, plus my $10,000 fee. Word got around pretty fast about why the system went down. The drivers were pissed. The clients were pissed. 2 weeks later, I got a text from my old coworker. Brad was fired. Turns out, firing the only guy who knows how to run the system without having a backup plan is gross negligence. The company actually called me a month later, offering me my old job back with a raise. I politely declined. I used that $10,000 to take a nice, long vacation to Hawaii. I heard they eventually hired 3 people to replace me. Their combined salaries are triple what I was making. So much for saving money, right? The lesson here is simple. If you see a fence, don't tear it down until you know why it was put up. And if you see an IT guy sitting around doing nothing, pray that he stays that way. Because when the IT guy gets busy, it means something is terribly wrong. Thanks for watching. If this story satisfied your soul, please destroy that like button just like I destroyed Brad's career. And don't forget to subscribe to ThreadVerse for more stories of malicious compliance and sweet, sweet revenge. See you in the next one.